I'm sitting outside here on a corner because my son, he was just recently arrested down here in Florida, and they took him to a hospital. He's at Citrus Hospital in Hialeah, Florida. And, you know, I came down here because God, honestly, he told me we were being oppressed. His people were being oppressed. And as I've been down here, I didn't know what he was talking about when his people were being oppressed. As I came down here, I saw nothing but a bunch of Hispanics and Haitians and other people having all the jobs, holding all the positions, holding all the authority, owning all the businesses and everything, as I am in Miami, Florida. And the Lord showed me this. He said that everything in this earth is his. The silver and gold, the fullness thereof, this world is his, the earth is his, all the people here are his. And he showed me that these people are foreigners that serve foreign gods. They don't serve him. And so since everything belongs to him, you're supposed to seek him to get everything. And he's basically saying that they stole the inheritance that belongs to his children. So he had me come down here to pray that these people are released from bondage, those who are his children, who cannot get jobs, who cannot get businesses, who cannot get money, who cannot get free. And so as I've been down here, God's anointing has been pouring out, and I've been praying. He's been using me to pray because his people have been so oppressed. They've been homeless. They treat them any kind of way. They can't get anything. And I've saw all that just for the few days I've been here. But the enemy wants to set things up. And see, this is the thing why I didn't really want to go and do the work, because it's like every time I do the work for God to free his people, me and my children are never fully, completely protected. Now, what happened today with my son getting arrested, you all saw. We're not completely provided for. I took all the money I had, the last little bit of money. I don't have much money right now, okay? We don't have much of anything. And we took the little money we had, the few $100s I get a month, spent it on plane tickets to get down here. My mother and my daughters chipped in money, and a church, the Lord told me to go to the church that I was in contact with, and they were supposed to take me in. This church did not take me in. They gave me $100 and sent me away. So I've been living in hotels until my money ran out. I spent a couple days in a hotel, and me and my children have basically been on the streets. We have not been getting much sleep. I cannot sleep when I'm on the streets because every little sound that I hear, I wake up. I can't. I'm on my P's and Q's. I cannot get a full night's rest. So usually I get about 2 or 3 hours at the most of sleep. My children were exhausted. We have been outside, and, you know, people have been sending us, a couple people have sent $20 and $25 here and there, and I appreciate that. And everything has been so expensive down here, buying food and everything. So the last little bit of money we had, we decided today to get another hotel because they told me, I've been in contact with some housing people, and they said they're going to try and help me come up with a security deposit to see what they can do. And most likely they were in the middle of processing, but they hadn't heard anything yet. So I felt like, you know, the Lord wanted me to hang around till Monday to see if they're going to come through with it, because I wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back home. I told God, release me. I want to go back home, because when I saw that I cannot get a place to stay, and I was standing out here sleeping on the ground on the streets. Like, I've never slept outside before on the ground. I had my children with me sleeping on the ground. Yes, these are disabled children. They might be 16 and 19 years old, but they're disabled children, and they're still, you know, this was it was a lot on them. Leaving once again, leaving our house, coming down here with me so I can do God's work to free his people and pray for his people. And then we're sleeping outside on the ground. And so when today we were getting ready to go to a hotel, after being outside, we were at the library majority of the day. I fed my kids something to eat, and then we came up here. We rode on the bus for an hour, over an hour ride. Then the bus didn't go all the way here to this hotel we booked. And we ended up, we booked this North Shore. We rode for an hour and a half, about hour 15 minutes on the bus. So my kids are already exhausted and tired. It's almost 8 o'clock. We're walking to the hotel. It's about, 15-minute walk on top of the hour bus ride we already took. So my daughter had booked this for this hotel room for me. She booked it online. She paid it in full. And we have a confirmation showing that it's paid in full. On top of that, when I got there, they asked me for another $20-some fee that I didn't have. That was money for my kids to have food. But I paid for the $20 fee, and I'm like, you know, we don't have anything. She's telling me I need a $100 deposit or I can't get the room. And so the confirmation shows there will not be any other fees except the $20 fee, and then a $50 deposit may be charged. So I asked her, why is it $50 when it says $100? And I said, and I'm trying to explain to her that we have nothing else. We have nothing else. And so the young lady at first who I was speaking with, she was kind of nice. She was, you know, empathizing with me. Now, she tells me she's going to have to talk to, I guess, the supervisor or manager, whoever, and see if she'll get her approval. So she had me sit down for a minute. I'm sitting here breaking down, crying, because, you know, it's been a lot. Over these past few years, it's been a lot. I've been doing God's work, and my kids have been, there's been problems with taking my kids out of the home. My kids have been retaliated against. The enemy has retaliated against me, taking my kids out of the home. having my son in juvenile detention center, all the stuff we've gone through, all the abuses, all the things. And so by this time, I'm breaking down because it's like we've already been, all I want to do is get my kids off the streets and inside this hotel so we can get a good night's rest. So I call my mom, I call my daughter and telling her that what they're saying. She says, well, why is there another charge? And she said, well, see if they can refund you the money. Because this is her money, she paid for this. So I go and ask if he refund me the money. It says, no, unfortunately the online money's not refundable. I says, well, how is that step? So basically, they're taking our money to rent a place, they're taking the money, and then they're charging us whatever they want. They charge another fee on top of it. I asked her what the $20 fee was for. She said she really don't know how to explain it. Then I asked her, why are you trying to charge me $100 security deposit and when it says here $50? And she tells me that website I go to is not the real website, and it's not real. It's not something that it's not the real site. So I said, well, it's not real. How can you honor the reservation? You can honor a reservation, but you can't honor the price. That's what the price says on the website. I said, this is theft. This is fraud. So she tells me, no, you're not getting the money back. So I pull out my camera. So I'm going to record this. It's going to be exposed. And she says, oh, you don't record me. And then she's pulled out her camera. The other girl pulled out her camera and started recording me back. Okay, so this is another reason. I'm sitting here in Best North Miami Garden Suites. And they took my $100-something online to book a hotel room, plus an extra $20 for a fee. That's the last money I have. I have no money for me and my kids. We're sleeping on the streets, and they will not give us a room. So they're going to kick us out without our money, without a refund, and no place to stay. So me and my kids are going to be outside again tonight, and it's a ripoff. All I asked for was a refund. You're not going to let me stay here. You could have made an exception. You took all my money before you knew I didn't have the deposit. So why would you take my money?
I need the job. I can't do it.
So listen, Miss, hello, hi, can you stop it? I'm gonna give you my room.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you my
lady
room.
was arguing with her. This place was very shady. Another lady was arguing with her about the room. They sold her a room that was, I guess, leaking water. It was damaged and nasty, and they gave her money back. And so I'm asking for my refund. I said, I need my refund. I'm not leaving until I get my refund. And so she's like, well, I'll give you the $20 back, but you're not getting the $100 back that you paid for the room. We are out here with all these suitcases. Look at this. Look at I have my son's suitcase because he's gone. But anyway, I said, I want my refund, okay? Because I'm sitting out here on the streets. I said, I have nowhere to go. I'm literally going to be on the streets. If you do not let us sit in this hotel room, we spent the last money we had, money on food and everything, and we got this hotel room. I said, can you just let us just stay here? She said, no, unfortunately I can't. And I said, well, can you refund my money so I can go somewhere else? She said, no, we're not refunding your money. And so, I kept saying, I don't know what I was saying after that. She just said she already called the police on me. And before I could say anything else, I hear my son just slamming stuff. He threw her, I don't know, he was throwing this table, and he ended up breaking the table. And he threw something else across the room. I'm running over there to get him. And he's all riled up because he's tired, he's mad, he's angry because they won't let me rent the room. And so I'm trying to calm him down. Here comes the police. And they end up coming, and I'm going to go ahead and insert some footage of them coming here. And they're going to, when they were talking to my son. So my son's getting ready to go to jail and get arrested. So we sat here in this hotel room. After being on the streets, we took our last money. My daughter booked me a hotel online. We paid the entire night fee, plus an extra $22 fee. On the website, it says no extra fees occurred, but maybe a $50 U.S. deposit, trying to charge me $100, which I did not have. They would not refund my money, kicking us out on the streets after we already been living out here for, 7 days. My son got upset, threw over the table. I told him not to do anything. He got upset, as usual. And now they called the police. Well, they called the police before he threw over the table, but they're ready to arrest him and put him in jail. And so this is God's fault. He told me to come down here for his people because they were being oppressed. And they send the foreigners over here to take everything from us. We have nothing. And these people take our money.
Hey, young man right here, you got ID?
Take our money. No, he doesn't have an ID on him. He has no ID. So this is what you got by sending me down here in the state of Florida, and my son's about to go to jail.
What's his name?
His name is Desmond, D-E-S-M-O-N-D.
Really need what's his first name?
Desmond. D is in David, E is in Edward, S is in Sam, M is in Mary, O, N is in Nancy, D is in David.
What's his last name?
Ross, R is in Robert, O is in Oscar, S is in Sam, S is in Sam.
What's his date of birth?
9/22/06. So he's upset because we're already sleeping on the streets. We've been on the streets for 6 days because I come down here to do God's work. And we take our last little money to rent a hotel room. This is how they treat us. So I'm tired. I'm tired of doing God's work. I want to be released. I'm tired of praying for his people. I'm tired of always being put in a situation where we have nothing but to spend all of our money just to come down here. So this is what he wants. He got what he wanted. That's what, just be compliant, okay? You're already in enough trouble. Just be compliant, okay? Don't give any more problems, okay? I try and tell you that. I know you're stressed out. I know you're tired. We had a hard life. We had a rough week. We've been out. Nobody cares about that.
I'll ask you one more time, okay?
What did you ask him?
What's your phone number?
Oh, he doesn't have a phone. He doesn't know his phone. He's a disabled boy. I have a phone for he uses.
Is he disabled?
Yes,
You
he's
have a
disabled.
phone number?
He has. I have a phone number for him. He uses my phone. He doesn't even have a phone. My number is. He's not even from here. We're from Cleveland, Ohio. We've only been here for 7 days. That's what I said. We went through all this hell, but you know what, Lord? I want your judgment upon them because you watch what they've done. Upon all of them. Because they come over here and they get loans and stuff off of our stuff in our land. And then they want to treat us any old kind of way. And he's getting arrested.
No, ma'am.
Am I free? I'm not free to record. It's not free.
It's not that
Why?
you're not free to record. This is part of why the issue escalated.
No, it's
you
not.
Mind?
Yeah, because
Yes,
Because I'm speaking up. And so I'm not condoning what my son did. I'm upset at the fact that God put us in this situation once again. I'm upset that I always have to come down here and be the sacrifice when his people are in bondage. I'm upset at the fact that there's never any justice for us, that these people who can be crooks, take my money. I've been sleeping outside on the streets, me and my kids, and we finally get money to pay for a hotel room. You take my money, and then you refuse to refund it. You refuse to give me the room because you say you want a $100 fee, even though the website says $50. You say that's not the real site, and they're crooks and they're cheating me. But you call the police on us. You refuse to give us the money back. You refuse to give us the room. On top of that, people are allowed to do whatever they want to us. Okay, we have been violated. I've had my car vandalized and destroyed by these witches and sorcerers. I've had people attack me and my son and my children. I've had people literally assault us, and nothing's been done about none of it. But they can call the police anytime they feel like we've done something wrong to them. I'm mad because I've honored God as his servant to come down here to free his people out of captivity. I didn't have to come down here. I told God, I said, you know what? You have people in the state of Florida. Where your church who was in Florida? Why do I have to come down here to Florida just like I had to go to Pennsylvania? They didn't treat us right in Pennsylvania. They mistreated us there. They mistreated me in my hometown of Ohio, where I was born and raised and lived for the majority of my life. So everywhere I go, I have been mistreated, but I still have faithfully been doing God's work. But now it's like my son, once again, has been arrested, has been apprehended, and it's like, I'm tired of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this out here because it's like, I'm tired. I'm tired of doing God's work. I'm ready for judgment to come down upon the state of Florida. I don't care. Because if you have stolen from God's people and you mistreat us when we come down here to free God's people out of bondage, you mistreat the servant, you mistreat my children, you steal from us. You've already, like he showed me, this land belongs to the Native Americans. Those are my answers. I'm a descendant of Native American. We have Native American blood. My grandmother is a half full Indian. She's a half Indian breed. Okay, I don't remember exactly which tribe she's from. I think it was Blackfoot, but that's my grandmother. It's on both sides. And so as God was showing me that this land here in Miami originally belonged to Native Americans before they took that from them. And so this is why he wanted me to come down here, because people are coming over here. They're getting loans, getting money off of our land. They're opening up businesses. They're running. They have these jobs, these positions of authority and power. They have everything they want off of our stuff. And not only that, they don't serve God. Like he said, this belongs to his people. This belongs to his church because this is his. This is his world. And so you come here and you tell me to pray for your people, but on top of that, you let them do whatever they want to do to us. And that's where I have the problem with. I'm not condoning what my son did, but it was wrong to have us down here mistreating us, having us live out here on the ground, sleeping outside on the ground for days at a time. Not giving us shelter, not allowing the people to give us shelter, giving us the runaround, letting them play games with us. Not only that, letting these foreigners oppress us. Yes, it's oppression when you take my money and refuse to rent a room to me. And they're ran by Hispanics. They're ran by people who serve foreign gods, foreign idols, and they come over here and take everything. You should see how they look at us. They looked at my son like he don't belong in this land. They look at us like, why are you here? And it's like that demonic spirit that's over them, that principality has taken over. And it's like, no. This is God's world, but you're supposed to be honoring that, Lord. This is why I say, if you're not honoring it, don't send me to do your work. I'm a woman. This is dangerous. I'm a woman with 2 children down here. And you see what happened to my son today. You see what happened to him. And it's like I'm constantly being forced to do this. And I didn't want to do it. But the only reason I did it because last time I said no to God, last time I refused to go somewhere he told me to go, he took both of my children out of the house and they were gone for 3 years. He punished me by taking both my children out of the house, and social services took my kids, both of them. So now I do your work. It's like I can't win either way. If I do it, I have to face retaliation and abuse and mistreatment at the hands of my enemies, those who are worshiping Satan, those who basically God is trying to free his people from, and the principalities that are over them. Or if I don't do it, then God punishes me. So this is the situation where I'm in. And it's like, I'm tired of being used. I have no one. I'm on one single woman. I'm sitting here right now at a bus stop. They're telling me I have to pick up my son whenever they call me to get him, but I don't have any means to get him. Do I have a car? No, you let a man, a sorcerer, and his entire coven destroy 3 of my vehicles, and they still have not replaced my car. But I don't get justice. You let people violate me and my children, but that's covered up. And none of these people have been apprehended. No one has paid for any of the damage they've caused me and my family. So I'm asking God to start destroying and judging and destroying people. He said he's a God of judgment and justice. That's what I want, judgment and justice. They're trying to keep me here in this state because they know God's wrath is going to pour out. But whether you hold me or not, however long you hold me, his wrath's going to come out even more. Okay, he can do what he needs to do while I'm still here. It doesn't matter. But because I'm going to be protected. The thing is, I don't like always having to go forth and be the one that's used when there are people here, literal men in this state who does nothing. Even the church that I went to, everybody's serving whatever God they're serving to get their extra money, but none of them doing the true work of God. He says, judging by their fruit, these are ravening wolves. They're only here to get their money. They're portraying themselves as of having a form of godliness, but they really don't. There's no godliness in any of them. They're just on an assignment to get their money. All they care about now is come to a place where people only care about money, position, and power. They care about their greed. They care about their wealth. And they're not truly trying to hear God or obey his Holy Spirit and listen to him. Because if they were, this would not be this way. Everybody will be fighting for God's church to have what it is that they're supposed to have. And I am not safe down here because this is a wicked place, and they don't like the fact that I've been revealing what God has told me to reveal, and that God has been using me. And this is why I don't want to be used. I've asked God to stop using me. I've asked him to literally stop using me, but it's like I'm at the point where he said his labors are few. And I have to be used until the end. No matter what they do to me, I guess I have to stand with God. So I'm asking the rest of you, those of you who are, the true believers of Jesus Christ, the true followers of him, those who are filled with, the Holy Spirit, those who obey God's Holy Spirit, I'm asking you all to pray for my son, that you could pray for me and my family, that you could pray for us to get the money and whatever it is that we need to get up out of here. I'm trying to get money for my family so they can get some, get me a ticket to get, I don't know where I'm going to go. Like I said, I'm not treated good nowhere I go because, God used me as a servant, his prophet. I'm not treated good nowhere. And that's the sad part. Me and my kids have been mistreated everywhere we've gone. But, in the end, like I said, I'm just ready for God's wrath to pour out and that he gets justice on behalf of his children, his church. So I'm just asking you all to say a prayer that I can find a place of refuge, that God will release me from this place and that he does what he needs to do for me and my family. Thank you.